Gil, let me ask you about the site of this year's U.S. Open, Oakmont Country Club. The club was founded in 1903. Does the course today resemble the original layout?
It does. It's actually, and the restoration work that we did over the last couple of years, now really, I think the golf course feels a lot closer to the original design. Basically, build an eclectic golf course, and I'm just going to make up years because I can't remember exactly what the years were. But say the best version of the first hole was 1931, and the best version of the second hole, in our opinion, was 1937, and best version of the third hole was 1928. So we basically put together an eclectic design.
Oakmont has earned the reputation, Gil, as the most difficult of the U.S. Open venues, and it sounds as though the USGA will not be employing a graduated rough setup. Can you tell us a little bit about the work that you've done?
250 yards, or maybe even 300 yards
Ah,
that we found. I don't know what if they'll use it all, but we did find some yardage there. You're correct about the graduated rough. The expansion of the greens is going to create significantly new, additional hole locations. A lot of the green expansion work also involves removing all the sand buildup along the edges of the greens. So the greens had this sort of bowl-like effect around the edges. That is now gone, and balls that get anywhere near the edge are going to go off. We all know that if Mother Nature cooperates, those greens will be running as fast as any greens anywhere, and they'll be firm as well. But one thing we do know is that Oakmont, traditionally, very much like the golf course behind you, Winged Foot, has always been a very, very stern test of golf, and I think the USGA is prepared to let Oakmont be Oakmont this year.
and I think it's very easy sometimes to look at Oakmont and say, well, typically we'll have the toughest rough and the fastest greens. Is that pretty much what makes it so tough? But I think there's more to it.
Watching the ball react in the fairways is really something that I think is underappreciated at Oakmont. If the weather conditions allow, they keep their fairways fairly tight and very firm. And the level of precision required to sort of hit a half of the fairway or a 10-yard wide strip. You're right, it's rough, it's bunkers, it's green speed and greens that run away from you, et cetera. But I think the topography in the fairways at Oakmont, so I think there's going to be an awful lot of interest in the tee balls and how they hit them in order to keep them in the fairways. What will the winning score be? And I think it will be somewhere around even par, unless you get somebody like, people talk about Bryson at Winged Foot, and he shot, I think, 6 under